Yo, what's up?
How's it, bro?
Good, good.
Long overdue.
Long overdue.
We've been trying to set this up since last year.
Not since last year, since the year before
Since
last.
Yeah, after our initial podcast kind of died,
Fell down,
and the craziest thing is we already had like followers.
which was crazy.
Yeah. You had
But
a good
anyway,
following.
I don't know. Do you want to introduce yourself, or do you just wanna? They will know us.
They will know us, God. They'll
Not
find
here
out
to
about
introduce
us.
ourselves. You must know us. Yeah, man. Such a heavy year, man. I don't know. I think from my side personally,
Yeah.
I was home back in KZN and
Is
had
it?
floods.
Yeah.
Floods for days.
Yeah. There was heavy rain that side.
Heavy rain that side.
Yeah.
Rest in peace to the families that lost
There's a
loved
lot of
ones.
people who lost loved ones.
But we just started the year on a very sad note. Yeah.
So when did you return?
On the 30th, because I wanted the Joburg
vibes. Did you get it when you returned?
You know damn well I got the vibes because I saw you. Actually bumped into you at one of the.
But it was like 6 a.m. when we bumped into each other. So
yeah, like 6 a.m. We bumped into each other at 6 a.m. on the 1st of Jan.
That time it was still so fun. Like it's almost
no one
as if the party started.
Like no one wanted to go sleep. We were like, guys, it's 6 and we are old.
We can't be doing this at this point. It's getting out of hand.
We can't be bumping each other at we can't be bumping at each other at like 6 a.m.
6 a.m.
From
how old are we?
But anyway,
25. No. 22. No.
Hell no. But anyway,
yeah.
So what has been like your highlight so far for the year?
For 2023.
Yeah. No. 2024. What has been like
my goal?
Oh, I started the year on this, and this is my mindset so far.
So my mindset this year is being intentional, about everything that I do. I think I've wasted too much time half-assing shit. So now I'm tired. I'm not doing that anymore. Now I want to focus and actually commit to one thing and see how far I can, actually go.
Is it? Oh man, it's so powerful.
Just because half-assing, you quit before actually knowing how far you can go, in whatever it is that you're starting. So I'm tired of that. Like, I'm tired of starting and stopping stuff. Now this podcast, see it to the end. Whatever it is that we're doing, whatever it is that we're doing, whatever it is that I'm doing, seeing it to the end. What about you?
For me, it is always, I think also on my side, not second guessing a lot of things I do.
Yeah.
I think with a lot of the stuff that I started, including this podcast, there was a time where I was like, look, we'll get to it when we get to it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh no, maybe this is not the right time. And the funny thing is, I had a conversation with a friend, and I like saying that.
Yeah.
Where he said, why do you think you have so much time? And you always say, no, this is what I want to do, but it's fine, I'll do it.
Yeah.
And you pretend like you are like the almighty and you know that you have enough time.
Yeah.
And Cat Williams said it better. He said, if you actually lead your life thinking that today is it, you would actually start to see a difference, because everything that you do today will determine that.
Goes back to what I was saying, intentional.
Yeah.
I don't think we're intentional enough about the things that we say we're going to do. Like,
sure.
I think that we say that we're going to do it, and when it starts getting a bit challenging, you're like, maybe I shouldn't.
Yeah.
And it's dangerous to think that everything in life is easy. Like, it's super dangerous. That's why you won't accomplish anything, because I don't know who gave us that mindset that everything that we do is supposed to be easy. Where did we get that from?
I don't know. I think maybe life, because of
social media.
Yeah, Look, we always look at people when they are at their best, and you will look at things when they are finished product. and we just like, oh, this is where I want to go, or this is who I want to be.
Yeah.
But we don't really know the journey into becoming, whatever that person is. So it's always like, this is what I want, but are you willing to go through whatever?
Do you
that
really
person,
want it?
do you really want it?
Yeah, that's the thing. Do you really want it? Like, intention. What's your intention behind whatever it is that you want to pursue?
And I can't lie and say I haven't had people who are doing amazing, and I don't have. For instance, my goal this year is to like really do gym like full time and not like you said half-ass. You've been saying, and I'm like, look, that was someone, and big shout out to this guy because he goes to the gym every day.
Not every day, 4 times to 5 times a week, but okay. I mean,
that's every day too. To a lot of us who hardly go to the gym, but he tries, and he's so consistent with his health, and he's doing fitness. So much more in fitness and stuff like that. He's eating healthy and all these other things. And I can't have an excuse and say, oh, it's so hard, I just don't know where to start.
Yeah.
When I have people like you who can actually point me in the right direction and say, look, this is what you need to do.
But also, a lot of people like complicate a lot of things in life. For example, gym. Gym is not difficult. You just have to be consistent. Just be consistent. Just decide and commit. Just be consistent. 20 minutes, first few months, the next 3 months, 40 minutes, hour, done. You do that for the rest of it. It's simple. But we want to complicate. We want to complicate and convince ourselves, no, I'm not seeing results, I should give up. But instead, what you're really doing is you're hindering your progress.
Sure.
You should have been way further than you actually are, but you convince yourself. That's what we do. Also, we always lying to ourselves. We are our worst advocates. You should know. You should know. You should know.
Yeah. And the funny thing is, someone actually said to me, you need to have you need to create a habit.
Yeah.
And they said, look, gym is a lot more like you coming back to work and watching TV and stuff like that. You need to have a routine and have a habit, because if you are gonna follow your feelings and what you feel like at the moment, gym is hard. I mean, you go to the gym and it's uncomfortable. Well, not really hard, but it's challenging. It's uncomfortable. It takes you out of your comfort zone. So now, if you're really looking for comfort, you're not gonna get it. So you need to have a routine where you like, look, I need to work out as much as I can. I need this to be part of my system, part of my schedule. And I read a book this other day, and then it said that there's certain things that we sort of put off because they are uncomfortable to us, and it's just your mind that's playing with you. It's like you always see the worst before you even get to it. You're like,
before you actually try.
This is gonna be hard. I'm gonna be tired when I come back. But when you actually go to the gym,
it's like,
and you're like, oh, I actually worked out. Oh, I have so much energy. And it's like, it's so weird.
No one ever regrets going to the gym, even while you are working out. You'd never say,
and like, that should be on a bumper stick. And no one regrets going to
the gym. No one ever regrets. But no, I never ever. Yes, when I wake up in the morning, I'm like, I have to do this again.
Yeah.
And then during the workouts, I'm like, this is so difficult. But after, I feel great. That pump is insane. That pump goes crazy. And like, I feel accomplished. I feel, I've done something. So with everything in life, when you begin, in the beginning, it's going to be super difficult. In the middle, it's going to be messy. But in the end, it's beautiful. So I think we should be, again, it's intention. My thing this year is intention. Be intentional about whatever it is that you're doing, and then, Yeah.
Also, on that note, I want to also speak about procrastination. Which is like something that a lot of people struggle with. I think a lot of people have been putting a lot of things off because they're like, oh no, it's fine. Which goes back to what I was saying. Like, we always think we have so much time until you get to like your 30s or your 40s. You're like, actually, I should have. I could have
started.
And I shared this video. I'm not sure if you saw it, of this millionaire. They were asking him, they're like, what would you do differently now that you're a millionaire? You've sort of accomplished what you wanted to accomplish. And shocking enough, he said, I would actually give up my millions to go back to my 20s. And that made me really like have a different perspective of how life is. We always chase money, always chase these things
But
that we don't chase. We don't really acknowledge the moment, and we don't reside in the moment and be like, oh, I'm poor and I'm in my 20s.
100%.
Why can't I work on myself and work 100%. On the things that I like?
So what really is the most valuable thing in life?
Time, according to me.
Yeah, time is, that's why when like a loved one dies, you're not crying because they're dead, but the time
that you're losing.
Yeah.
And the time spent also, you're like, oh shit.
And you feel like you should have spent more time. And you want to spend more time. So it's nothing more than time.
Yeah. And this is what Joe Rogan highlighted. Oh, I'm name dropping podcast. Joe Rogan will watch this one day and be like, hey,
somewhere in somewhere in
Soweto there was a boy who mentioned me. But he said, look at it from this perspective. If you were given if you knew that your parents are going to pass on in the next 3 years and maybe you stay in a different state, how often would you go home? And he said, if I had that knowledge, I would go every weekend or out. Because I'm like, oh, look, I need to spend so much time with these people.
Every day.
And he's like, what makes you think your parents don't have 3 years to left on earth? Yeah. And it's all these like, and I always like, kick myself up when I get these things. It's such a simple concept.
Exactly.
But when you think about it, you're like, oh.
Is it not crazy how the most valuable thing, that's the thing that we take for granted, time. Like all of us think that, you know what, I have more time.
Yeah.
I have more time. We always think that until it gets to a certain point in your life, like you get to a certain crossroad and you're like, nah, I don't have time. I actually have to do this. Or sometimes it's too late. The person is dead. The project is not complete. You're broke. There's so many things. You didn't accomplish whatever it is that you that. Then you're like, now I'm overweight. Like I can't. Now it's going to take me 5 more years to lose this weight. There's so many things, when you should have done it. Yeah.
So another thing is, what I've also realized is perspective. When you are the projects that you keep postponing or the things that excite you that you keep postponing, when you are at a certain level in life, they won't excite you the same.
Yeah,
which is something I've realized.
That's true.
I'm like, there's certain things that used to be like, oh, I love to do. This is what I want to do.
Yeah.
Oh, if I could actually get a chance to do this. And when I get the finances or I get in a space where those people are accessible to me, I don't feel the same about it. I don't know if that has happened to you where you're like, I could have actually done this. I could have actually, maybe I would have felt different when I get to this age or at this stage. Because then you get a chance to, now showcase. Do you really want this? Or was it one of those things that you were like, I want it, but I'm just not sure?
I think also there's so many things that we say we want, but we really don't want them. They look good on others, and we think they're going to look good on us. But when it's actually like, bro, think about this. You see a Ferrari, right? And you say, I want this Ferrari. But when it's time to put in the work for you to buy that Ferrari,
you're like, nah. Just want a test.
Yeah, I'll settle for this.
So it is.
Not to say that people who own are not hard workers. I know.
Next thing now, people are just like, why are you bashing us for owning tests?
Because I have a test. I work hard too, but so you would work even harder because you actually want it. You do everything.
Sure.
So we truly lie to ourselves. Even if it goes for everything. Like that marriage that you want, that goal that you want, the thing that you want, the one thing that you want. When
you're not willing to work
hard. Yeah.
And I think we've had this discussion before, you and I, where we said, this is something I like to say, we all want nice things in life. We all want Ferraris, we all want nice cars, we all want houses by the beach and stuff like that.
Are you actually willing to
what separates us from the people that just want them and the people that actually go and get them is one question, and it is, are you willing to do anything in your power, everything in your power to get there?
Yep.
And that is the most important question, because then it separates you from the people who just want it from far, and then they just like, oh, okay, it would be nice to have,
it would be nice,
you know, but you who's like, oh shit, this is what I want.
So I think that's what we do. We think it would be nice to have, right? That's what we do. That's what we think it would be nice to have, and we think we want it.
Sure.
So you look at it and you say it would be nice to have, right? So you can't make you can't actually distinguish between it would be nice to have and actually wanting it. So when you think it would be nice to have it, you're like, okay, I'll just try, just to you know. But when you actually but when you actually want it, you'll actually try your best, and you know, you'll obtain it. You'll do everything that you can to actually obtain it.
Correct.
You know.
And one of the also another thing that really annoys me is when I say, look, on this day, this is what I want to achieve, or this is what I want to do on this day.
Yeah.
And then when that day comes, then I'm just like, maybe next week. And you and I have been doing this with this podcast, because we kept saying,
fucking hell.
Look, we have time next year. We'll do it. I don't know how to. Let's postpone, you know. And I always, and there was this other day where you said something that really made me sad, where you said, when we started initially, when you started the podcast, and it was before like everyone was doing podcast, and then we stopped, and then you were like, imagine how far we would have been had we been consistent, had we not stopped. And that's the thing.
The worst thing is we'd already built momentum. Podcasting was well known. People were for months on. I think for
shout out to RJ though.
Yeah. Shout out RJ,
because he was, you know,
podcasting was.
And another thing is
we already built momentum.
People just don't know. It's very simple. Start.
Yeah, start and
start
don't
at
stop.
Your lowest.
And don't quit.
And start
don't
at
quit.
Your
wherever you are.
Wherever you are. If you want to start gym, if you're unfit, start there. If you want to start a good diet, start there.
Start where you are.
Start where you are, where you don't know shit.
Yeah.
And then you gradually learn how to do those things, because you can't become a man. You're not born with like talents. You're not born with like certain things. It doesn't come natural. Well, there are people who have like natural attitudes when it comes to certain things, but there are people who work hard to actually get to where they are. That's why you find people who have, you know, who are average at something, and then they work on their craft, and then they blow up, they become, you know, exceptional.
But
it's
what
because
did they do?
They work hard and they were consistent. They're like, look, I'm not there yet. I'm gonna work on it. And you are sitting there with all the talent in the world. You're just like, I'll work on it.
There's a chick that I told this. Okay. Yeah. So there's this chick, right? she's always singing. So I told her this. I was like, you're a very good singer. Why don't you like try out in these singing competitions? She was like, no, and it's Tembi. And I was like, I mean, I'm Temba though, but I'm the one who, like, how is it that I have more belief in you than yourself? You know? She was like, no, it's okay. No, you're just trying to, you know, rationalize excuses and stuff. And then I said this.
And what makes you actually think in 20 years you're not going to be scared?
Exactly. So, but this is the point that I made to her. I was like, you have such a great talent, and you are so selfish for not sharing it with the world.
Because you want to keep it to yourself. Yeah, and it's yours.
You could make a difference in someone else's life with your voice. Even with you, you are not even going to talk to me. But at least you're working. You're a great singer. You know.
I know.
But you can.
I'm working on it. I've been working on it.
The thing is, you can touch someone in a certain way. You know, spiritually. You know, mentally.
And like, that's the response I've been getting. Exactly. And there's one big shout out to this girl who always follows my videos on TikTok. And she always says this. And she said something the other day that broke me. And she was like, I can't actually wait for you to blow up, because if I'm hearing this now and it makes me feel like this, how more if a lot of people, if you can reach a lot of people.
100%.
And I was just like, shit. And here I am thinking, oh, this is my personal thing. This is
it's not yours.
It's not mine.
One thing about your gift, it's not yours. It is not yours. You are given a gift to the world, right? It's not yours.
Yeah.
And it's being selfish. Like when you don't share your gift with people, it's the highest form of selfishness.
Yeah.
And why would you not want to help someone in a certain way, especially through art, through music, through singing?
Yeah.
Because you're getting a message. Yeah, you're getting a certain message across. That's why people love music. Because there's something
them feel a certain way.
Exactly.
And I always say to people, my relationship with music is so special because every time a song plays, it reminds me of a certain moment. Exactly. That's how I've always been. I remember a few months back, we actually buried my grandmother, and there was a song that I used to listen. Man, there's a song that I used to listen when I was younger, and I heard it play, and I was like, damn. And it took me back because it took me back to that moment where I was like, I think I was like 7, 8. Yeah. And it was like nostalgia. Nostalgia. Yeah. Where it was one of the songs that was big then. And I was like, oh shit, this took me back. And it made me realize like how far I've come and you know what I mean? And imagine if you have that relationship with music. You alone, because I'm a vocalist, if I have that relationship with music, my songs would have a certain message that would touch someone in the next coming 20 years because of what maybe it reminds them of.
But what are you doing? You keep on procrastinating on your craft, something that you're
just
literally
like, we'll record. But now, on the real though, no, now I'm pushing my stuff. I'm recording, I'm back in the studio, and that's it. But anyway, I'm just gonna digress and go all over.
Yeah.
I saw things are like weird, man. I think the world is such a weird place where, like, in as much as we don't really want to dive into politics, but I think we should because it really affects us
a lot.
What do you think about the upcoming elections and the parties that are now established? What is your thoughts or concerns regarding the state of affairs in SA?
So I'm not a very political person in any regard, but I'm very aware. Right. First, I don't think there's anyone fit enough to vote for. Our leaders have disappointed us, and also it's not. Look, I don't think it's yes, it's their fault, but we also have to take accountability.
Sure.
Because we don't hold them accountable. It's dangerous to give people power without any any form of responsibility.
Sure.
So we've given ANC so much power that
they're abusing it.
They're abusing it. Yeah. Now we have to suffer the consequences because we don't hold them accountable. I don't think we're angry enough. I don't think
we're not as
South Africa. I don't think we're angry enough. I don't think that we.
And I think it doesn't help that it doesn't also help that we are so distracted. There's so much more going on in SA, but you find, and I'm not bashing anyone. Look, but you find
bash that if you have to bash them. Who do you want to bash? Call them out.
But I find a lot of the times our focus is misdirected in a sense, as we spend so much time on the things that really don't matter.
Yeah.
And they are like the core element of who we are.
Yeah.
I mean, the groove culture in SA is crazy as compared to us talking about voting and talking about politics and people that we put in power.
But I don't blame people. You know why? I don't blame people. We need an escape from the current reality, and the best way and the cheap, more affordable way is through groove. I don't blame people.
The thing is, look, what you spend your time on becomes you. So if you spend a lot of time doing drugs, you are a druggie.
Drug addict, yeah.
So, and someone kept emphasizing this, and there's a whole lot of number of people as compared to politicians and people who are in power.
Yeah.
There's a whole lot of there's a lot of people in SA compared to people who are in parliament. And if you think about it that way, you're like, oh, actually, we are a lot. We put those people in power because of our numbers. And if we can really behind ensuring that the people that are not doing their work or that are not performing in their official capacity are removed. We have that power to do that.
We do, but you know what's the problem? People don't understand that political parties are nothing more than representations of us. They basically are public servants.
Yeah.
Then
it should be easy, because then if they're a representation of you, then it means you need to look at yourself and look at the community and say, look, if I don't want Mang Mang to be in power, then I have the right to say, look, I don't want Mang Mang in power.
No.
But the collective decision that we make as people in electing those people is the one that counts, right? So if there's a collective decision or discussion regarding what we need to have as citizens, and we say, look, this person is not performing, what can we do as the people who put in power? Then that would make a change. Don't you think?
Okay. That's why I'm saying we should also take accountability for not holding them accountable.
Sure.
Right? We just gave them power. We just said, ANC, okay, you have the power. You'll do whatever. And then ANC promised us, yeah, we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then they didn't deliver, and now we have a problem, and we can talk about the capturing and whatnot. We can talk about, but there are many countries in the world that put their citizens first, right? I don't think ANC is interested in doing that.
And really,
not just ANC, all the political parties, like
sure.
So,
and because look, if you think about it from a very basic point of view, there's unemployment, there's drugs involved, there's so many socio-economic issues that we're currently facing. Our president has not said anything about unemployment. Unemployment is rough at this moment. The unemployment rate that we currently have is the highest as compared to the ones that we have previously. So the rate in which we're in is like we're in dire need of employment. And the president is not addressing that. In fact, we are so busy going to address when the Springbok is playing wherever the president is there.
Do you think Rama cares?
Do you think he cares? That's the thing. It's a reflection of the black people that are in positions, and it's not even white people who are suffering. It's their own black people, and that's what makes me angry. Is the fact that you have the audacity to be in power, and you have the means to change certain things, but
you have the power more than anything. Not so much the means, because it's his personal, but the power. You actually can make decisions that will impact people in certain ways,
and you're not doing anything about it.
That's
just the reflection of you as a person. Because I'm like, if I were president, dog, I have a list. I have a list of like right now, like you would see, okay, shit, this person is in power, because I would make sure.
Are you sure that you would though?
No.
You because my thinking with politicians is they suffered so long that when they do get the power and the money and everything,
but you see, that's the thing, and maybe that's my relationship with money and wealth. For me, and maybe this is how I've been, and maybe I'm speaking from my perspective. My thinking is, I will not, because even with the little that I have, I will not be in a position to not empower a black person and not empower my community. Which is why Generation Great was established, because it aims to empower
for empowerment
the generation, and we don't have funding as yet.
We don't have anything.
I mean, if Coca-Cola or Spa or whoever wants to empower us, I'm not saying anything, but I'm saying if I had the means to uplift. Okay,
I'm super disappointed. Not just by the the South African government, but even like the South African public, I don't think we're angry enough. I think we still, a part of us still hopes that ANC will do better, which clearly they won't, you know. So, I can tell that they won't do it better. So, and besides that, there's no political party that has proven itself worthy of being in power, you know. So,
but that's the whole point of voting, is to put someone in power. So if you're not voting, then it means the person who's in power remains in power.
Is that how it works?
Yes, because the numbers, if you don't vote for anyone and the people that continue to vote for the same person vote, and then it means people will be
My question is, what if no one votes? What happens then? What happens then when like literally no one votes?
Yeah, then it means the person who's in power remains in power. That's exactly what happens.
Is that how it works?
Yeah, because they have the numbers. They have the majority in parliament.
Okay.
They have the what is it? They have the numbers as a party.
Yeah.
So if you don't vote, then because that's what happened. Remember, that's what they were saying, that the youth is not voting.
Yeah.
Therefore, the people that are voting are people who are older, and people who are older only know ANC.
Yeah. But you know what's going to happen now? There's going to be a lot of coalitions. I don't think ANC will be the outright winner.
But that's what. Why wouldn't you want another party to win outside of ANC?
No, I'm not saying that ANC should win, but I'm saying that's what would happen. There'll be like a coalition of governments.
But look, if you are voting for, because that's the thing, if there's coalition of government, then it means that some people voted for ANC and some people voted for other parties.
Yeah.
But the basic principle is that people voted.
I think that's where we're headed right now. I think people don't trust one
party to lead.
Yeah. So there will be a lot of coalition governments. I think that's where. But personally, I don't think I want to vote. I don't think anyone is worthy of my vote. They haven't proven it. You know, VT once said we should go to Fusitembelwayo. That guy's a G. So he spoke about value politics, which political party adds the most value, and based on how they perform, how they provide value, that's who we vote for, and we have like matrix that we measure. Has this political party achieved 1, 2, 3? Have they done 1, 2, 3? I think that makes sense.
Yeah, but look, on my part, I think it's very important to give other people a chance.
Okay.
Me saying give other people a chance is me saying there are upcoming parties.
Which ones have you seen?
I mean, there's the I just forgot its name, but it's
Rise.
The party. No, not even Rise. The party that you remember, the mayor of Joburg,
Herman Mashaba.
Yes. So
What's
his party.
I keep
forgetting it. But you know, as a leader, Herman Mashaba, because he's not campaigning. But I would like for him to win.
Exactly what I was saying.
But the thing is, I don't want ANC to be part, because I would vote for any other party except for ANC.
DA?
I would not vote for DA, sorry.
Why not?
Any other party except DA.
And ANC?
Because I don't think they align with my values. I don't think we align in terms of what... Because what they are going to push the...
I heard somewhere that's why starting a political party. Is that true? I don't know.
Umkhonto weSizwe.
Umkhonto weSizwe is the name of the...
I'm considering it, yeah.
Is the name of... Is that like not ANC or something?
It's the ANC slogan. There was a whole thing where they went to court because...
Yeah. That's why I'm confused. I heard somewhere... I'm not really up to date with these things, you know, so...
But look, for me, any other party except ANC, because I think they're too relaxed.
Okay,
and that's what you don't want in politics. You don't want people who are complacent
EFF.
Because... No.
Bro, you literally saying...
I'm saying any other party except for EFF, DA, and ANC.
Why?
Because they've proven that they're not worthy.
But we haven't given DA a chance. We haven't given EFF a chance.
Look, they've presented their manifestos, and I don't think I align with them personally.
Okay.
And this is my view. I don't think I want to vote for EFF because I think they are fine as opposition parties who are there to complain It's one of those people who look at other guys and they say, "You're not doing well," so that other guys don't relax.
Okay.
So they're good as opposition parties that are not in power.
Okay. Wow.
And my thing with
that's just their role,
personally, and don't.
That's just their role. They're good as opposition, but they're not good enough to be in power.
Maybe the organization itself is good, but I don't think CIC is fit to be president. I haven't seen.
So what about Herman Mashaba's party?
Actually, because he
should be in power.
Him.
What about Gates and McKenzie? I think
I would also consider him.
I'd also consider the.
I would also consider Gaten.
I'd also, even though I'm not voting, I'm still not voting, but
because,
I'd definitely consider.
Very proactive.
I'll register to vote, and maybe just consider him.
Okay.
Maybe, but I'm not promising anything.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm just to close it off. I'm not happy with the status. Politics aside, elections aside, I'm just not happy with the state of South Africa.
Right now, that's true.
I mean, unemployment rate is
crazy, and everything is just
interest rate is high. Everything is
just degenerating in real time.
Load shedding. Do you know how annoying load shedding is?
Do you want to get into that?
I don't want to get into that
because you'll be angrier than you are right now.
Actually,
it's so annoying,
the whole day.
It's crazy how it not just affects people on their daily things, but even the economy at large.
As well. Look, with bigger businesses, they have backup power where they can, if there's load shedding, they can switch on
the generators and stuff.
But what about small businesses, your bakeries, your like functional small businesses that are in townships or wherever?
That's true.
Because they rely on the power supply to function, you see.
And we have enough resources for us not to have electricity. It's a very complex issue.
The issue of load shedding has been spoken of 20, 30 years ago, but nothing has been done. And now you are electing a minister of electricity.
Right now,
there was a minister of electricity
who's going to make
last year.
Who said to no one even knows. Do you even know the cabinet right now? Like,
I don't know, because Ubekele next year is going to move to Minister of Mineral.
What does he know about that?
You see, and he's also old. Those people are over 60.
Oh, yeah. I wanted to talk about that. We're moving into, into a new world. And a lot of these politicians are old. A lot of things, the systems are old. A lot of things are old. I think we need new leaders, younger leaders. I think we need leaders who are
like a fresh perspective.
Yeah, 40 below. I don't think anyone who's 50 should be a president. It's too old.
Also, there's no innovation because if you hire a 60-year-old...
Musi Maimane also has a political party.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, great. Okay.
Super disappointed at your reaction. I thought you would be a bit more excited than that, but yeah, he has. And he was talking about how his will be on Panel's podcast. He was talking about how his will be focusing on like the future, it will, instead of
Look, touching on the issue of older people being ministers, I don't understand it. I'll go back to reshuffling. For me, you can't hire a 70-year-old and ask them to be innovative and have come up with ideas.
100%.
Even if they do have a unit or people who can consult, who can give them that information. But I don't think they're driven or they have that energy enough or that drive to execute,
but
because
also
they don't understand. With reshuffling again, the problem is you take someone who does not know, who has a degree in teaching. For instance, if you were to take Angie Motshekga and then make Angie Minister of Technology, what does she know about
tech?
You understand?
You can't even use ChatGPT.
That is the thing for me. It's like, yes, as a minister, I get you are part of a political leader who has majority votes. But for me, why would you take a portfolio which has nothing to do with you, which you don't understand?
You don't understand. You get it? Yeah, that's true.
Hire more. Can we have deputies? Can deputies be given a chance? Because I know there are young deputies who are supporting these ministers, who are willing to step up, and they're fresh ideas and young people. Can we have young people in parliament?
Yeah, can we just have young people in parliament? Because it makes sense. Also, my problem with Peggy Tyler is he's arrogant. There's a interview that I saw. This guy was asking, "Why aren't you out of parliament? You're old." And he was like, "I'm not going to listen to a Democrat." I'm like, look at this old guy.
Oh yeah, I saw that interview.
Yeah.
The guy.
I was like,
big shout out. He's a lawyer. He was asking relevant questions.
Instead
of not addressing
he didn't. He was emotional about the entire thing because he knows it's true, and it doesn't make sense. Like, he doesn't know anything about the police force. He doesn't know anything, even worse, about minerals. What does he know about that? So it doesn't make sense. No matter how much you reshuffle a person, if they don't understand anything about the industry, there will be no progress in that industry.
Do you think it's political appointments? Because I feel like a lot of these ministers are appointed based on who's connected to who. Because look,
100%.
Some ministers are reshuffled because they are on the bedside of the president.
Yeah, that's true.
And I feel like that's the case now, where people who are meant to be, or people who are fit for a position would be overlooked, because maybe they are not in someone else's good books, right? And I think that's just sad, because then if you get, and I'm not against appointing someone on a political basis, but I'm just saying the country right now does not want someone who's political. Like, we need critical thinkers.
Yeah. Now we need solutions.
We need solutions.
Yeah, that's very good. We don't need connections. That doesn't matter. Yeah, we don't care who you are. And we need solutions.
As a society, we are so driven by socialism. We look at just the socialism aspect of it. Oh, whoever can rally up numbers, whoever can, but we don't actually look at the leader.
Yeah.
Because as a leader, what are you doing? I mean, we have your leaders who are attending events that have nothing to do with
the progress of the country.
The progress of the country. And for me, that is sad, because socialites as ministers, and I don't understand why you would want to go to Devon July when your portfolio is feeling dismal.
Just a celeb. That guy
for 10 marks, explain why you would want to go to an event.
I miss South Africa when ministers were actually ministers. I miss. Yeah, I think that's the time when back in school we used to know who was the minister of what, because there was actual structure. There was progress. There was, I miss that time. Now you don't know what's happening. It's constant reshuffles. And I think it's also just a huge psyop. It's to confuse us even further, because the less you know, the less you can do about it. Exactly.
Another thing, one question that I want to ask. Do you think South Africa is ready for a female president? And if so, who do you think would fit the script? Who would play that role?
Again, I'm not interested in politics enough to know about that, or I don't know. I don't think I'm going to sound misogynistic, so maybe not even start.
We actually don't want to get cancelled.
We even start. I don't.
Okay. No, let's park that question.
No. Okay, here's my reply to that. The best candidate should be the president, regardless of their
my
agenda.
Friends will say you're not clued up on politics, but that's such a political answer.
No, but it makes sense. Think about it.
Such a political answer.
If you're capable, you should be the candidate. The most capable person, even in terms of the ministers, the person who is more capable in that role. If you understand business, you should be the minister of business and finances or whatever. If you understand finances, if you understand the economy, it only makes sense because you're competent
maybe
in that
we need
area.
to have like a criteria. You know how when you get hired for a position,
100%.
they set like a specific criteria, and then like you must have a BCom degree in what, and you must be, for instance, if you are going to be a minister of science and technology, or then maybe you need.
Because ain't no way, bruh.
No, but they're not gonna, because we're here. So, is it? Yeah, it's not gonna.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
it's not going to pick up the.
No.
Yo, cause
So, for me, I think we need to have a criteria when you're hiring or putting these people in. For instance, in the judicial thingy, have you seen those interviews where they would say if you must have like 10 years experience?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I've seen that.
I think we need to have something like that where you are interviewed on a public platform, and they actually get to grill you and ask you questions, so that we can actually see if you're fit. Actually, I think ministers, we need to have something like that, where you are actually screened. The public also agrees with the selection. You know, that would actually work.
It would make much more sense because everyone is involved in the selection of, because at the end of the day, again, I'll say this, these people are nothing more than public servants. So we choose them, to carry out our mission.
Exactly.
And if, for example, you're talking about the manifesto is nothing more than a mission statement saying this is what we intend
KPIs.
exactly.
What is it?
Key performance indicators. This is what we intend to do. And so if it aligns with me, then that's what we look at. Okay, is this what you're doing? Are you care? It's nothing more than that.
Yeah.
So we should hold them accountable, and they should deliver on their own, because they came up with these KPIs.
Correct.
They should be able to deliver on them.
Yeah, that's what you're promising the public. So those are your promises. There's nothing to do with that.
Exactly.
And you saying, if I get an opportunity to be in power, this is what I'll do for you. Then go ahead and do it.
And also we forget that ultimately we, the people, hold power because we have the numbers.
Exactly.
Yeah, and if we decide that we don't want them anymore, that's why I'm saying we are not mad enough at ANC. If we truly didn't want them in power,
the youth is not mad enough. That's what I'm saying. We're not focused in a sense that, and I'm not saying people shouldn't lose interest and whatnot, but I'm just saying our focus is on other things. Like, we'd rather speak about Gogo Maweni as opposed to like, oh no, cut that one. But we'd rather speak about.
Are you ready for the Bluetooth is going to be connected?
But we would rather speak about who's that rapper? We'd rather speak about Skomoda.
I don't even.
Skomoda. Okay, but yeah, we'd rather speak about Skomoda as opposed to like real burning issues in SA.
Yeah. Who's that?
And it's more entertainment. Like, if I were to ask a random person here, more about the entertainment side of things in SA, they would tell me everything. But if I were to ask you about what ESCOM is doing in Mpumalanga in terms of
no one knows,
making sure that the power is off and stuff like that.
Even I don't know anything about that.
And if I were to ask you about the locomotives that were imported that are not working and the amount of money that was spent, and Zondo Commission and all these other issues, we are not clued up
and we truly don't understand what's happening with the state capture thing. Like, if you ask a random person, what is that about? No one truly understands or truly knows what's happening. Yeah.
But if I were to ask you, who's Bonang? Not that you shouldn't know.
I mean, so don't you think that people use entertainment as an escape from reality? Because the reality is there's a lot of people are unemployed, and life in SA is quite challenging, So instead of being worried about these things and thinking about these things, you'd rather just entertain yourself to numb yourself to the pain.
Yeah, and I completely get that. But look, when it comes to voting, I think we all have a responsibility to have a say in how the country is run. Yes, I do get that will not be the center of our existence, but when it comes to picking a political party that is going to lead you, because that decision will affect, even it will actually even affect your entertainment.
Yeah, that's
because
true.
It's going to affect your finances, it's going to affect your health care, it's going to affect
everything else,
the crime and whatnot. So I think you should have a certain level of voting power, or you should have a certain level of interest when it comes to that. I'm not saying people should be like politicians and whatnot, but I'm saying just be interested enough to know who you voting for.
Okay, I get you. Just be clued up. Just have that awareness.
Awareness, actually, that's the word I was looking for.
Just
be aware of what is happening.
Conscious, yeah. Even if you're not like in there like that, but just know enough.
And social media is another thing, but we'll discuss that.
So what's your closing statement about the state of the nation?
My closing statement remains the same. I'm not happy with what's happening.
Yep.
And I just feel like the youth should be aware and should be interested and should be in a position to overthrow the current system.
Yep.
And be in a position to be mad enough
to
say, look, we want change, and the people that we voted for are not delivering. So what is it that we can do? We need to be a society which is driven by solutions and driven by ideas, which will make sure that we are empowered. Because we're gonna have kids one day.
That's true.
We are the uncles. We are the aunts and the uncles now.
Yeah, that's true.
So if you are not, if
we're going to hand over something that's not working to
you get it.
Yeah.
So we are the generation who needs to lead. Like, it's so shocking because I feel like no one trained us to be adults.
Yeah.
And we're getting to a point where like we are proper adults.
Yeah, I know, bro. You don't have
14-year-old. So
yeah. So I think that's utterly and completely true. Yeah, I don't think we ever ready for such, because what we do is we look at older people to for guidance, and when they're not guiding us, we have now no choice but to step up, and become those leaders that we
aspire to be.
Or they're not those leaders, so we don't have a choice to be those leaders that we should be. So man, I think we should wrap it up.
Big shout out to Conquer Fitness Gear, guys. We're wearing our merchandise. We must highlight.
Big shout out to Sia. He's dropping an album in 2 months.
Black businesses.
In 2 months. In 2 months, this guy has to drop an album. Peace.
All right.